Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start off by saying I wouldn't lie to you, of course. This is the definitive tier list. You can't argue with it. Scientists have studied it. I'm right. You're wrong. This is the tier list. This is it. This is it. What you see here today in this video is correct information. And it is totally not my opinion. It is fact. So without further ado, let's hop into this teen perk tier list. But not just your ordinary teen perk tier list. As you can see over here, maybe over there, I've already done a perk tier list in the past. Perks have been updated since then, so let's talk about them a little bit. But also, this is about the best teen in VHS, not the best perks in the game. Okay, so if you didn't know, perks in this game work very differently from any other game. Perks cost points in this game. You can have a max of 5 perks, but most of the time you probably won't have 5 perks because a teen leveled up all the way up only has 30 perk points to spend. So let's say you want to run 3 perks that all cost 12 points. You can't do that because, I mean, of course you only have 30 perk points, and that would of course equal to 36, but there's a caveat to this. Every single teen has a discount on their own perks, 3 points per perk. So of course you can run a 12 point, a 12 point, a 12 point, and then you subtract 9 from it because each perk would have minus 3 perk points on that teen. You actually can run 3 12 perk point cost perks. Oh my gosh, this is a mouthful. I'm getting confused. So yeah, if you want to run the 3 best perks in the game, you would want to play as that specific teen. Whoever you're going to play as, you should be using 3 of their perks just so that you get that extra reduction. But what if a teen has the best perks in the game? They have 3 of the best or 2 of the best. Of course, everyone's going to want to play them because they want if they're going to be using 3 of their perks, they want that full reduction on the perk cost. And that's why we're making this list today. Who is the best teen? Who has the best perks? Who are you going to be playing as? Who are most people going to be playing as? And who will be able to make the best builds possible? So let's hop into it. Okay, so straight up, I'm just going to say Brett is the best teen in the game. He has 3 really good perks when other teens have 2 good perks or 1 good perk. Every perk in this game is good, but some are just way better than others. Some are going to probably be more meta, and some are probably going to just be so strong that they're going to get nerfs in the future. So let's talk about why everybody's going to want to be playing as Brett. Not only does he have Vice Grip, arguably the best perk in the game that I think is going to be basically the dead hard of VHS unless they change it. Rest in peace, dead hard, actually. This perk, Vice Grip, at tier 3 costs 12 perk points, so it's very expensive, but it allows you to go down once per match and keep your weapon when you get revived, which, if you didn't know, weapons take 42 seconds to craft, sometimes longer depending on your mods, but being able to keep your weapon when you go down saves so much time. Imagine you just spend 42 seconds crafting a weapon, right? The monster then just hits you, you go down, you have to get back up, run to a station, hope you have 42 seconds to craft another weapon. Especially if you're like the last teen alive or there's only 2 left, you're not going to be getting a lot of time to be on a bench. So that extra time it saves you right there is enormous in this game. I mean, the weapons are your only defense of the teen. Literally your only defense. So of course, saving your weapon after you go down is one of the best perks in the game. But Brett doesn't just have 1 insane perk, he has 3. Born Tough, his next amazing perk. It's recently been nerf buffed, it's been changed. It used to only give you, I think, 24% extra health, but for the entire match. So it's nerfed now that it only gives you that extra health during the first 3 minutes, but the extra health has been buffed to 30% at max tier. Again, this one costs 12 perk points, so it's very expensive, and that's why you're going to be wanting to play as Brett when you put his perks on, because of course you get that extra 9 perk point reduction. Imagine making a build on like Jess or something, and you want to run 3 of Brett's perks. You can't really do that at max tiers because of course they cost too much. Unlike Vice Grip, where you really only want to run it at tier 3 costing 12 perk points, Born Tough, I think people are going to want to run it at tier 2 because it gives you 20% extra life. The 30% at tier 3 is really good, but I don't know if it's worth the extra 4 perk points that you spend on it. A monster hit, I'm pretty sure, does 22% damage to you, so if you do run Born Tough, then if you get hit at the beginning of the game or take a hit for someone, you're really only losing 2% life compared to that 22% if you're running tier 2. At tier 3, you'd basically still have 8% extra life even if you get hit at the beginning of the game. So tier 3 is really good, but I don't know if for sure if it's worth that extra 4 points. I think I'll be running it like that just because getting hit at the beginning of the game is one of the worst feelings ever, and you just lose like half your health bar and nobody can come get you if the monster's camping because they don't have weapons. It sucks a lot. So this is a very strong perk right now, and people are kind of downplaying it like it only works for the first 3 minutes, but 3 minutes is a long time in VHS. Some matches I've played have ended in a minute less than that. There's literally 2-minute matches you can have in this game, and this would have saved those teens a lot. Plus, I mean, your health is all you have in this game. Your health and your weapon, and Brett saves you on both of those fronts. Once your health reaches 0, you're out. You're just, boom, dead. If everybody ran this, the first 3 minutes of the game would be easy as teen. And then he has Never Say Die. And again, this one you're going to be wanting to run at tier 2 or tier 3 probably, and it only costs 9 perk points at tier 3. And playing as Brett, of course, you'd get that 3 perk point reduction on it. At tier 2, you save 18% of your life lost when downed. So basically when you're downed in an spectral form trying to get orbs and waiting for someone to pick you up, your life is slowly draining in this game, but it drains 18% slower at tier 2 and 27% slower at tier 3. And again, as I said earlier, your life in this game, your health bar, is all you have, and then weapons as well. So he just basically, he just buffs you up. Brett is literally just a buff to you. And if everybody ran all 3 of these perks, teens are pretty strong at that point. So yeah, that is my reasoning for why Brett is the best teen in the game currently, because I'm pretty sure all teens are gonna want to run all 3 of these perks, and the only character you can do that on is Brett. Now, do I personally want to play as Brett? No. I wish I could run all 3 of these perks at max tier on Jess or Faith or Gloria. I'd rather play as them, but of course this game has its systems in place where it wants you to play as that specific teen where you want to run those perks on. So that's a little sad, but I guess I'm going to have to be a Brett main, and I guess a lot of other people are as well. Like when I see competitive VHS, I see everyone playing as Brett using these 3 perks. Maybe not everyone using Born Tough 3. You could just have one person on the team that's a tank at the beginning and runs towards the monster or comes and takes a hit for someone. But yeah, maybe you don't need Born Tough, but Vice Grip is super strong, and again, having more health is very strong as well. And in second place we have Gloria because of her 2 amazing perks, Friend Zone and Lightning Fast, which I would actually swap out this way and say that Lightning Fast is better than Friend Zone. So in this game, once you get hit by the monster, of course you get a speed boost and you can go a certain distance away from the monster and try to either hide or just keep holding W and running. This of course buys your team a ton of time to craft weapons. At tier 3, Lightning Fast gives you a 24% extra speed boost when you get hit by the monster. It's not like a faster boost, it's a more duration. So you use speed boost for 24% longer. You can extend chases a ton, and it's only 10 perk points. So of course if you're running this tier 3 with 12 perk points, this tier 2 with 8 perk points, and this tier 2 maybe costing 6 perk points, that'd be 14 plus 12, which is 26. Reduce that by 9. You're only spending 17 perk points on Brett. You can still put on Lightning Fast for 8 perk points at tier 2 and still have, I think, 5 left for any other perk you want, or 2 perks. So that build alone right there, these are, I think, the best perks in the game. And then we got Friend Zone. Friend Zone is good in really any perk tier. I don't think I would ever run it at max tier because that 2 extra points could go into anything else. 20 meters is already very long to see auras of teammates all around you. That extra 7 meters might be worth it to some people for the extra 2 perk points, and if you have nothing else to spend, might as well do it. But again, we're trying to cheapen stuff as much as possible and just find the overall best build for teens. So yeah, being able to just see people through walls, see all your teammates is very, very useful, especially when you're getting chased and people aren't pinging or something like that's happening. It is a very, very useful perk. But again, survivability in this game tops everything, and that's why these 3 here and this one are the best perks in the game in my opinion. Extend chase time, extend health bars, extend craft time, or shorten craft time I guess. And yeah, you have the best build right here. But if you want to cheapen any of these and then add Friend Zone in, that is also a very good pick. Now let's go on to the 3rd best teen in the game, who in my opinion is Faith because of her perks, Magic Touch and Healing Hands. Now Magic Touch is good overall just because it doesn't cost too much. Really good for getting people up. You get them up 30% quicker or 20% quicker or 10% quicker. But on top of that, when you get someone up from the down state, they gain health. So if someone's running this, plus they have already Born Tough, which gives you extra health at the beginning of the game. They have Never Say Die to stop losing health as much. And then someone gets you up with this, you gain 6% extra health. It's just so good overall. Again, survivability, the best thing in this game. Now, Healing Hands at max tier saves you about 2.5 to 3 seconds of heal time on a teammate with its 18% boost, but it costs 9 perk points. So I don't know for sure if it's like worth it. It's not the best perk in the game, but it does come in handy sometimes. But again, it is more useful than it is not. It's just when you have all these other perks up here, I mean, it gets kind of just washed to the side. Oh yeah, and the reason why I'm not putting Team Spirit or Secret Admirer up there yet, and I'm just putting their 2 best perks that they have, is because we're going to be talking about that at the end, so stay tuned. Alright, on to 4th place, I believe the next best teen in the game is Leo. He can do a ton of builds because his perks are very cheap, and once you put on that 9 perk point reduction to his perks, you can really just add on a bunch of stuff, which is really cool. But why would you want to run all 3 of his perks together? They're not the best. But let's go on to the perks that he does have that are really good, which is Head Trip, and in my opinion, Street Smart. Of course, Street Smart. So Head Trip is overall very, very good. Once you go down, you can see Luma through walls as a spectral, and you can go around really quickly and pick them up so that your pickup bar goes up very fast and you can be picked up off the ground very quickly. In my opinion though, you wouldn't ever want to run this. It only costs 1 extra point to run it at tier 3, but it's really not worth it. You see Luma across the entire map at tier 3, but the 36 meters from tier 2 and even the 18 meters at tier 1 are already very, very strong. And the speed increase at tier 3, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, to be honest. I think most people are going to be running this at tier 1 or 2 because you really don't need to see Luma across the entire map. You just need to see it around you, and then you just go pick it up. You only need like 4 or 5, depending on the size of the Luma, to get your bar all the way up there. But yeah, Head Trip is very useful. You do get up a lot quicker like that, but it all also depends on your teammates coming to you quickly. And is solved pretty quickly by just Faith's perk right here, Magic Touch. Now, Street Smart is actually very useful. I've come to love the perk a lot, and I think that I will run it on some occasions. You see pickups through walls and searchable objects through walls within 5 meters, 10 meters, and 15 meters. And this also doesn't cost too much. Again, I do think this one will be ran at tier 2 because that extra 2 perk points for 5 extra meters isn't insane value. And I think when you're running by hallways and stuff, you already see pickups within 10 meters pretty easily. But yeah, this one is very useful because Clash Colas and Chompy Bars are extremely good to find. And sometimes mid-chase also, you'll just see one through a wall, you run into that room, pick it up really quickly like a Clash Cola, and then just drink it and run, which you wouldn't be able to do without this perk. Okay, and on to the worst teen in VHS, but probably the one I want to play the most, sadly, is Jess. And that is because she has one okay perk, Evil Eye, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not even that good. I like the idea. I think it has one of the best designs, but this information isn't the best. I mean, tier 1, I think tier 1 is what people are going to be running the most, just because you instantly see the monster, but you can also just press tab and wait for a teammate to call it out. But yeah, that beginning of the match, when you see the monster transform, you can see them through walls, you can call out what the monster is. Probably later on in the game cycle, this will become better, because right now it's a 33% chance that you're going to guess what monster it is. You got a 1 in 3 chance. It's either Dollmaster, Werewolf, or Wart. Later down the line, when there's 20 monsters in the game, this could be extra useful. You'll know right away who it is, and you'll prepare. Maybe craft a weapon based on who it is. And the next tiers of it, they don't cost too much, so that's good. But they also don't come in handy too much, because instead of just seeing when the monster transforms at the beginning, you can see when they disintegrate. But like, what's the use in that? It's not that good. Someone banishes the monster and then they go into the banished realm. Doesn't really help too much. Seeing the monster while stunned is okay, but most people that stun the monster are going to be pinging anyways. They're going to ping the exact location. So again, that doesn't really matter either, and it's not worth 7 perk points. So yeah, let's talk about the 5 perks here that I didn't add to the list, because I just don't think they're the best perks on those specific teams. I think all of Brett's perks are good, and then 2 out of 3 of Gloria, Faith, and Leo have good perks, and then 1 perk is okay in tier 1 on Jess. If I was going to add anything to this board, I'd probably add Silent Shadow here in tier 1 form, because again, the cost is so cheap and you get that 50-50 once you miss a skill check, but most of the time you're just not going to be missing skill checks unless things come into the future that make monsters give you harder skill checks or something. Maybe a monster comes in the future that forces you to do certain skill checks. Silent Shadow might come in handy, but anything past tier 1, I mean, the 50% is already pretty good. Like, you're rarely going to miss a skill check, and when you do, it's a coin toss. You either alert the monster or you don't. Putting any more perk points into that would probably just be a waste. Now, why didn't I put low profile on there? That is because they recently nerfed low profile. It seems good on paper, but in actuality, it is not a great perk. You gain a 75% increase to crouch movement speed without a weapon in your hand, which already is like a very niche situational perk. Sure, it helps you hide from the monster when you're weaponless. Maybe they're coming to your crafting station, you need to crouch around it and just go around the station a little bit. But again, that's very situational, depends on which crafting station you're on. It's too situational to be on this list, and that is why it is down here in the void. Secret Admirer as well. The problem with this perk, it seems good. I like empathy in Dead by Daylight. You see someone get hit across the map and you know exactly where the monster is. You see that they're getting chased because they're injured. The only thing with this one is that you already get that information in this game. You look on the HUD, you see someone gets hit, you see their location, and it updates as they are running and getting chased. You have a little chase icon in the bottom left corner showing that they're in a chase, and you see their rooms constantly switching. You see it switch to kitchen, you see it switch to secret stairs. You know exactly where they're at across the map. This perk is completely useless. To newer players, again, these perks are completely different. To newer players, this is great. Quick Fix is great as well. Oh yeah, and by the way, Secret Admirer costs the same in all 3 tiers as Friend Zone. So why aura read across the map when someone gets hit when you already have the locations down there, and while you already have a perk that does that within a 27-meter range of you better, while they're all healthy, while they're injured, while they're downed, while everything. It just makes no sense. Secret Admirer probably needs a buff. So let's talk about Quick Fix. You see medkit stations through walls, which are never going to move, by the way. Medkit stations are stationary. They're always in the same spots every single time you load into the game, so there's no point of seeing them once you already know the locations. Great for new players, not so great for experienced players. But you heal 14% quicker at these medkit stations, right? Except that only saves you, I think, like 1.2 seconds or something. It is such a low number that it really doesn't matter at all. And again, if other people just run better perks like Healing Hands, you're going to get healed quicker. If you run even this one, which is in the void, people are going to heal you quicker. You make a healing staff, you get a weapon, plus you heal faster. Like, there's just a million other things you can do that makes you Quick Fix completely useless. Alright, and Team Spirit, it's just the cost of the perk. It's what it does to you, what it gives you isn't worth the cost. It's a 12 perk points, the same as Vice Grip that saves you 40 plus seconds. This one gives you like a 10% increase or something. A 12% increase to healing, reviving, resurrecting, or disarming dolls to other people next to you within 10 meters. It's such a short distance. Sure, maybe if you run it for 12 perk points, you get healed 12% quicker if someone's healing you. It's just not worth 12 perk points. That is way too much. And that's why I don't think really anyone runs Team Spirit. I don't know what they could do to this perk. Maybe make the percentage higher if they're going to keep the perk point cost the same. Or, I don't know. If you're going to run this in tier 3, you better be playing as Gloria for that extra 3% or 3 perk point reduction. But then you're also going to have to be running Lightning Fast in Friend Zone, which is okay. Again, she is the second best teen in the game. You could run those 3 and then have Vice Grip on your build as well. Maybe you don't need Born Tough or Never Say Die. So yeah, these teams are all viable in their own ways. I just think Brett has the best overall perks, then Gloria, then Faith, then Leo, and then Jess. Again, since I want to play this game, and since the game is meant for fun, you're going to be mixing and matching all the time, but in competitive VHS and in the top meta, I'm pretty sure a lot of people, if the perks stay this way, are going to be playing Brett. I just don't see a world where you're going to want all 3 of that teen's perks on Jess or Leo. Maybe Faith or Gloria, but definitely Brett, you're going to want all 3 of those. So yeah, let me know what you thought about this tier list of the best teen in VHS. Let me know if you want a video in the future of what to buff about the voided perks down here, or even some of these other perks in the game, and what to nerf about the top tier perks. I don't think every perk in this game needs a change, of course, but I do think certain ones do need a buff, and maybe certain ones need a nerf. And overall, I'm a big fan of the perk point system in this game. I think it has a lot of depth and makes the game way more balanced. I'm not a fan though of how we have to play as certain teens to use certain perks in a build. It just feels so bad if you want a Jess, Leo, Faith, Gloria, and Brett perk in the same build, but you're just not going to be able to do that because you just feel bad not using your discounts that you have on that character. Anyone that uses one of every teen's perk in their build is an absolute madman. So So yeah, subscribe, leave a like, more VHS content in the future. Early access is coming very, very soon. The beta has ended and I just can't wait. I'm guessing all these perks are going to change and this will be a completely useless video, but that doesn't matter. I'm so excited for the future. I'm excited for all the changes they're going to make to the game, all the future content, and I hope you guys join me as well because I'm going to be live streaming it all the time. I am moving at the end of July, so be wary of that. I might not be uploading a ton. Hopefully I can though. I'm praying I get good internet wherever I go. But yeah, expect a lot more VHS content in the future. See you guys then.